All right, so with the 75th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Kiran Amegadjie, offensive tackle from the University of Yale, or Yale University, whichever it is. And taking a look at this guy's tape, I don't know much about him, obviously, because he did go to Yale, and that's not really a big-name college for college prospects going into the NFL. But taking a look at his tape, aside from being a very raw prospect, he looks like he's got some potential. So, unfortunately, he is coming off I believe a torn quad, and I'm not sure if it was the year before or last year, but he did have that injury. And obviously you don't really like the big injuries, especially on offensive tackles or linemen in general, or pretty much anybody in general. But you know, this is a guy who, fun fact, actually grew up a Bears fan. So I mean, obviously I don't want to skip over that fact, because man, imagine as a kid growing up, and this could be for any team in general too, but imagine just watching your NFL team growing up and then one day playing for that team, getting that call from the Bears general manager. In this case, it was Ryan Poles, who called up Kiran and told him to play for the Chicago Bears. Isn't that some crazy stuff? Actually, the same thing happened to Cole Kmet as well, another hometown kid. And Ryan Poles actually has a lot of homegrown talent. I believe Jack Sanborn, Cole Kmet, TJ Edwards too, and now Kiran Amegadjie are all homegrown talent. They were Bears fans growing up as children, even though some of them didn't get drafted to the Chicago Bears. TJ Edwards was drafted to, I believe, the Philadelphia Eagles before he signed in free agency last year to the Bears. Still ended up playing for his favorite childhood team, which is absolutely amazing. And obviously, this guy isn't going to be competing for a starting spot, probably not anytime soon. But if he ends up being a solid tackle, I mean, you could be looking at Braxton Jones, either his replacement or a good enough swing tackle to where injuries happen, which happen all the time in the NFL. You could be looking at a guy who could also play guard, who has experience at guard as well. So in case Nate Davis or Tevin Jenkins, who Tevin Jenkins gets hurt a lot, or if Tevin Jenkins, who is coming up on his contract year, doesn't play good enough and we don't re-sign him, or he's injured too much, we might actually just slot in Kiran right there, and he can end up being a very good starting guard for us instead of having that hole on the team. So the first 3 picks in the NFL draft ended up being offense, which is really just something completely different. We're so used to defense from previous regimes, you know, going back to the 85 Bears, just being that team that is always about defense. The Bears are defense, you know, stronghold fort. We're never bending to any offense. And unfortunately, that doesn't work in this day and age. And I'm glad Ryan Poles is seeing that, and he's just not continuing the cycle of just picking defense. Obviously, you don't want every single pick to be just offense and just one side of the ball, and it wasn't in this draft. I'll get to the other draft picks in other videos, but for the first 3 picks, man, quarterback, receiver, and tackle. And even though this guy, we were drafted in the 3rd round, we didn't have a 2nd round pick because we traded that to the Commanders for Montez Sweat, which I believe was absolutely worth it. But going back to Kiran, like I said, he is a offensive tackle from Yale, and he's a big human being, 6'5.5", and I believe 321 pounds. So this dude is massive. And like I said, he was a Bears fan growing up. And if you actually look at his Twitter, it's actually really funny. He's pretty much one of us. You know, how we all on social media talking crap about the Bears and expressing our, pretty much 99% of the time, our pure hatred and this distaste for our team because of how bad we do, how much we underperform when there's so much hope at times. And it just continues to hurt us. And he was one of us. Same guy. You look at his past Twitters in 2020. One of his tweets was something along the lines of, when will this pain end? And geez, man, we're right there with you. And now you can be the guy that helps us get up to that next level of being Super Bowl contenders and hopefully winning a Super Bowl, if not multiple Super Bowls, with Caleb Williams. So I like this pick here. Great value. He was kind of selected where he was, you know, projected to go at. So it wasn't anything like a steal, but it wasn't anything like a reach either. So great pick by Ryan Poles. You can never have too many good offensive linemen, especially in this league where, you know, linemen get hurt all the time. And so you guys got to have, you know, backups to be able to slot in right there. Or if for whatever reason, any of the starting offensive linemen are doing, you know, terrible or just regressing terribly, like if Braxton Jones, you know, takes a step back, if Tevin Jenkins takes a step back, if Nate Davis takes a step back, you know, if you know, God forbid, Darnell Wright of all people takes a step back. He was a 9th overall pick last year. I would hate to see that happen, but if that happened, we at least have another guy right there who could possibly end up filling that role and being a very solid starter for us. So let me know if you guys like this pick or we missed out on anybody else, but I'm out.